she also stated after physically assaulting me for over 45 minutes nonstop that she called me over there so she can beat my ass. And she called me a dummy for even coming over there. And she said, I called you over here, dummy, so I can beat your ass. This was a setup. And I'm highly upset that this hasn't turned into an assault instead of a disorderly conduct. And this is her fourth time assaulting me. I have health issues. I have lupus, Your Honor.
All right, this is 242859, the City of Taylor versus Shiana Beard. I have the complaining witness present on Zoom. Counsel, can you approach so I can put that back in the file? Thank you. All right, it's the time and date set for sentencing. Have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence report with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Okay, is it factually accurate?
No, Your Honor, there are a couple of corrections that we'd like to make in the first paragraph under employment income. It indicates that she also reports that she is employed at IHM nursing facility. That's not correct. She left that place of employment in December of 2024. And under education, it says she denies attending college, trade school, or certificate programs. That is also incorrect. My client has an LPN license that she obtained from Dorsey College in August of 2023. Everything else appears to be factually accurate.
Okay, can I ask, what was she on probation in Woodhaven for?
It stems from this same incident, Your Honor. Apparently, the complaining witness lives in Woodhaven and she filed a police report for telephone harassment. And Taylor,
I don't know. I haven't.
It's you, Taylor?
It's the jail.
I'm sorry, and the disturbing the peace stems in Taylor, but it all arose from the same incident. And my client's version of events is different. And as we all know, Your Honor, there's usually two sides to every story.
There is, but I mean, she's got a problem.
Your Honor,
Let me just say, like, it's confusing to me because she seems like she's got her head up, like she went to school, she's got a good job, like, and this is the thing I see every day. Women get involved with these men and then they get themselves in the criminal justice system over relationships, right? I mean, yeah, I know you see it every day.
Your Honor, I used to be a director of my sister's place, which is a domestic violence shelter, and sometimes women would go back to their abusers. My client is a victim of domestic violence, and rather than have the father of her two children in this court before you, she thought that she was being nice by calling his family to help him. Emotions were high. My client felt threatened, and she thought she needed to defend herself. She understands what she did was wrong. I've talked to her. I told her, you know, you've been as nice as you can be. You know, she isn't a victim of abuse. She has a PPO against him or has had PPOs against him in the past. She does continue. There is a cycle, and I'm sure you're aware of that cycle.
I am.
And
May I speak, Your Honor?
You're gonna get a chance, Miss Fowler.
hopefully this will be the last
Thank you, Your
time
Honor.
I have to see her before the court for something like this, Your Honor. I told her, you know, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, and you have to protect yourself, and you have to call the police. I understand that she did not want him to go to jail, and that's all this was about. She called his family to come get his belongings so that he wouldn't have to go to jail because she threatened to call the police and he fled the home. And at this point, she needs to do what she needs to do to protect herself and her children and move on with her life so that she does not find herself losing her good job at Chrysler.
All right. Miss Fowler, would you like to make a statement to the court?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, what the court has not been put on the record is this is the fourth time that Shiana Beard has physically assaulted me. I'm a 52-year-old woman with health issues, and she knew exactly what she was doing when she called me the day of the incident, October the 17th, off of my son's phone to come pick his stuff up. She acted as if she was not going to be at the household when I came to get the stuff. And she also stated after physically assaulting me for over 45 minutes nonstop that she called me over there so she can beat my ass. That was her exact words. And she called me a dummy for even coming over there. And she said, I called you over here, dummy, so I can beat your ass. This was a setup. And I'm highly upset that this hasn't turned into an assault instead of a disorderly conduct. And this is her fourth time assaulting me. I have health issues. I have lupus, Your Honor. And she knows this. I have taken care of Shiana to the best of my ability since she was 16 years old, living with me on and off, with her and my son and her children. And I'm highly devastated of how she has been treating me over the years. She just got off of probation because she's been phone harassing me for 7 years straight. I keep trying to communicate with her to not call me about their incidents and problems. And instead, all the anger that she feels towards my son, she thinks it's okay to lash out on me. And every time she thinks
Well,
sees
she's
me,
not calling you anymore. Are these children in common?
Yes.
Okay, so they're your son's children too.
yes.
Okay.
And she has also stopped me, Your Honor, from seeing my grandchildren. I haven't saw them in 4 years due to this incident because she hates me. She despises me. She do not like me. So
Well,
I
this
have not had,
incident only happened a year ago.
yes, she's been stopped me from seeing them 3 to 4 years ago. I haven't saw them.
All right, is there a friend of the court order, counsel?
No.
And no parenting time arrangements or anything like that? But nothing with friend of the court? Okay.
No, there should be. Obviously, they aren't able to get along and to co-parent effectively, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that's clear. There's not a friend of the court order. I mean, there's no.
Well, that would affect him. It wouldn't affect the grandmother.
Well, oh, I know. I mean, I'm aware of that. I was just trying to figure out what was going on with the kids here.
She has had CPS called on her 4 to 5 times with my grandchildren as well. My last granddaughter was born with marijuana in her system, and CPS was called to the house because on her pictures, I have the pictures, that when she took her baby pictures, she was high off of marijuana.
Okay.
And she got smart, not to call me
Just
my grandchildren.
listen, okay, I've got it. Listen, there are two sides of both stories. I've heard them both. Okay?
My kids.
And I'm trying to figure out, why does she think it's okay to keep putting her hands on me? It's not okay. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
It sounds like there's a pretty lengthy history of
her putting her hands on me. I have ignored it and haven't thought, but what happens between her and my son, that's between them. But she has definitely crossed the lines when she thinks it's okay for her to physically keep assaulting me every time she sees me.
Miss Beard, you understand? Miss Beard, you understand you cannot go around this woman again. You understand that?
I don't know. You're right.
You can't.
I promise.
Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath.
That's
All right.
me.
All right, just take a breath, okay? Take a breath for a second. All right.
What happened?
No, listen, I read the pre-sentence report, Miss Beard, and I have your account of what happened as well. I mean, this is obviously just a very nasty situation for everyone involved, okay?
It is.
Yeah, I don't offer please, I accept please.
I tried to leave. He got me put on my house 2 weeks ago. I don't know where to go with my kids. They attacking me. Anytime I call the police, it's retaliation. They come to my house. She came outside and watched him fight me and her daughter. They all help. This is the time she's talking about. She's not tough. This is a continuous cycle. I'm in a domestic relationship and she knows and she includes herself. Yes, I know. I tried to leave. I got put out. I got evicted. He busted my window in my apartment.
Miss Beard,
I'm really going to bed. I didn't understand. She only telling half of the story.
it's okay. It's okay.
It's not
Let-
fair.
Your Honor, I'd just
Miss
like to
Beard.
point out that she
It's not
has
fair. You keep
made
putting your hands on
contact.
me.
Miss Fowler, stop. You've made your statement. I've heard you, okay?
Yeah.
Miss Beard, you have someplace to stay right now.
Yes.
She does? Okay,
Your Honor, if I may.
you may.
Ms. Beard has already been on probation in Woodhaven for the same incident.
Phone
That
harassment.
probation-
Miss Fowler, I said your turn's done. I've let you speak. My
Okay,
court reporter can listen. My
Okay.
court reporter can only listen. Don't say a word. Listen, everybody. My poor court recorder can only type what one person is saying at a time. So I can't have everyone talking over everyone. I'm giving everyone an opportunity to be heard. But now is council's time. Go ahead, council.
Your Honor, we're asking, because my client has already been on probation, she has also attended anger management through Woodhaven. She's also done community service. We're asking that her probation with this court be non-reporting. And she does have anxiety, and she does use recreationally alcohol and marijuana to help deal with her anxiety. And I think, you can understand why she is anxious. It may not be the best way to handle one's problems, but these incidents did not stem from her alcohol or drug use, Your Honor. So we're asking that it be non-reporting, and or in the alternative, if she can pay the $725 today and not have probation at all. She has not had any contact with Ms. Fowler. She understands that she can't have any contact with Ms. Fowler. It seems the only reason they would have to be in contact is the children. And as you indicated, there is no friend of the court order. So right now, there's not even any reason why there would be an exchange or have to be an exchange of the children. If he wants to see his children, he should go to friend of the court and do so. My client is trying to move on with her life. This is disruptive. Times are hard economically. She's a single mother. She does have a job. Having to take off from that job would provide less income for her family, Your Honor. So we're asking the court for leniency in this situation.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. I mean, under the law, she's eligible for early termination at the halfway point,
Okay,
right? I mean,
and that's what's happening in Woodhaven. I believe it's set to end, it would have ended in May, but she's going to court this month. The probation officer out there is recommending that it terminate early.
Miss Beard, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, you can't affect how other people are. You can affect how you act, right? And I'm looking at the notes, and last time we were in court, you had to come in person because you were hollering during court proceedings, right? Like, you clearly, to me, I understand this is emotional, but you have got to check yourself and how you present yourself to the world and how you got kids, man. And if you're getting out of a bad relationship, I'll put it that way, since I don't have any other defendants in front of me. I mean, if you're getting out of a relationship like that, like, you have got to learn how to have normal, functional adult relationships. And that's not what it looks like coming into court. And I'm looking at my notes in the file. I held you in contempt for your behavior in court previously. Like, you have to figure out how to move forward, how to stay. Just listen. This is lecture time. It's not talkie time. You have to learn how to stay away from people that you cannot function around, right? And there's been no contact.
No.
Miss Fowler, there's been no contact.
No, Your Honor.
All right.
It wouldn't have
So
been
she
none
get-
that day, Your Honor, if she wouldn't have called me.
All right, Miss Fowler, I hear ya. I'm talking about since this.
No,
So she's doing, so that's what she's ordered to do. It shows me she can follow court orders. This is what I'm gonna do. She has 12 months probation. She has a fine of $50, court cost of $50, state cost of $15, a crime victim's rights fee of $75. She has probation oversight fees of $450, community service fees of $10 per day, for a total of $50. Are you in therapy?
I would, but I got, no.
Okay. You're gonna do 5 days of community service in the city of Taylor. You can talk to probation about what that looks like, and we have all kinds of hours available. I don't know what your shift is, but you can work with that. You can't use drugs or alcohol while you're on probation, okay, unless you have a prescription for them. And I'm gonna put her on random testing, because here's the thing, what it sounds like is she's using drugs and alcohol instead of dealing with it. And I don't think that's a good idea. And part of probation is to help you rehabilitate yourself, right? And drugs and alcohol aren't gonna help you right now. Therapy will. So you're having random drug and alcohol testing at your expense, but I'm gonna put you on a lower color. So but if you test positive, then we have a problem, right? But I'm gonna monitor, we'll look at it the first month or two, see how she does. I understand she might have marijuana in her system, but it'll take some time for it to come out. And then we can, as long as there haven't been any violations, we can discuss having the probation converted to non-reporting.
Okay.
But she does have to do the mental health evaluation and follow therapist recommendations, because I think therapy would do her wonders. No contact with Cherie Fowler at all whatsoever. If you see her in a store, you run, okay? You turn around and walk away. You don't say boo to her. You don't flip her off. You don't do anything. You walk away, all right? You've got employment, maintain employment, and there are any other ancillary services deemed warranted. But I'm gonna make notes on your file that will monitor you for 2 months on the drug and alcohol testing. And if you're not having any violations, we'll reconvene, and especially contact violations, okay?
Yes.
Your Honor, does she need to have completed the community service within that 2-month period?
I mean, the sooner the better. She's gotta complete the probation or the community service, but if she has another, I don't know what her work hours are. She gotta do it. But if her out, you don't have to tell me on the record, but what she can talk to probation about it and see what options they have. And if it's not something that works with her work schedule, she can go to an outside agency and do her community service there. Okay. All right, that concludes the hearing. That's my sentence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.